Yeah, you can go lock the door. And we're going to start standing just for a second, and then we'll sit down because I want to explore this concept. We will be twisting today. Yay, twists. So twists are great. There's lots of different things happening when we twist. And there are different schools of thought when it comes to twists. So we're going to do a couple of them here. Let's stand with a kind of wide stance. And I'm going to mirror you here. We'll go to the right, and you can reach the left arm out and kind of pivot on the left foot like you're reaching for something. Yeah. Yeah, it feels kind of good. You could lift up a little bit. And then let's come down and go the other direction. So we pivot and turn. Yeah. Great. Do it one more time each way like this. And then let's pause here on this last side. And you just kind of think about this. So we're going one direction. The arm is going that way. The chest is going that way. The pelvis is also going that way. So everything is kind of turning the same direction. And then let's come back to center. So this next version of twist, let's narrow your stance just a little bit and crisscross your forearms, mummy style, and think about your navel like there's a bungee cord pulling the navel towards your left foot. Keep that, we'll breathe in. On the exhale, turn the chest to the right, but keep your navel pulling towards the left foot. Yeah, so you're not going to go very far, but you might feel that the upper body is kind of going one direction and the lower body is going the other direction, which is different from the previous twist. Let's come to center. Swap which arm is on top. It'll feel weird. And then pull your navel towards the right foot. Inhale. And on the exhale, start to turn the chest to the left. Yeah, just hold that for a second. You might also feel with this one that there's a little more work going on through the abdomen. And then undo, release. You can just wiggle a little bit. So we'll be mostly working with the second version of twist, but we'll add in that first version to just kind of let it go a little bit. Do you guys have any questions? Nada. All right, so let's sit down. You can sit any way that you like. And we'll wobble a little bit and then become still. So as you settle in here, just give yourself a little wobble. You can feel the sitting bones underneath you. Yeah. And then gradually, whatever movement is happening, let it start to settle down. And whatever is meeting either the floor or your props below you, can you root into that? Drop down. At the same time, create a little lengthening sensation up through the sides of the waist, a little bit up through the base of the skull. And if it feels good for you to close your eyes and relax the skin of your forehead and the skin of your eyelids. Also relax all of the little muscles that move your eyes around. Take a moment here to arrive into your yoga space and also really to arrive into your own body. As you take the next few breaths, can you sense the breath, the felt sense of breath? You might feel movement happening. You might feel the sensation of air through your nose. Notice how it feels to breathe. And then let's take our hands to heart center. Gently lower your head down. Blink your eyes open. And we'll take the head back up to the center. Keep your hands here. And glue the thumbs to the sternum right in front of the chest. Also glue the tip of your middle finger to the base of your chin. So we've got this whole unit connected. Now just pay attention to whatever leg is in front. If you're cross-legged, we'll breathe in. On the exhale, keep everything glued together and start to turn that direction in whatever leg is in front. And just notice here, you won't go very far when we twist like this. Let's come back to center. Then we're going to go again, same direction. We'll go even less far here. Think of pulling the navel towards the opposite leg knee as we turn again. Yeah, you'll go even less far, but you might feel a little more activation through the side body. Now let's keep that activation. Go ahead and let the arms come down, whatever, so take your hand to the leg, whatever side you're on, and take the back hand behind you. Give the backhand a little pressure down and use that to help sit you up a little straighter. Yeah. And then go ahead and relax somewhat through the abdomen. Let your head turn forward and take your back arm, reach it up and over on the diagonal. So it's a little side stretch. Yes. Okay, up we come to center. Let's undo the twist. If you're cross-legged, change legs. I didn't say this. If you're not cross-legged, you're just symmetrical, you'll just pick a side. Yeah, all right, so here we go. Let's do the same thing. Thumbs at the sternum, middle fingers connect to the chin. Breathe in. On the exhale, turn the direction of whatever leg is in front. And pause. Notice how far you go. Come back to center. We're going the same way, but this time pull the navel towards the opposite knee. And that'll prevent you from going over quite as far. Now let's keep some activation here through the abdomen. You'll release the arms and take one hand to the leg, the other hand behind you. Give the back hand a little press down so that you can sit upright. Yeah. And then we'll relax a little through the abdomen. Turn the head forward. Take the back arm up and over. Find that little reach. Yeah. And then we'll come out of that, coming back to center. And let's, from your seat, just do a couple cat-cows, moving a little bit through your spine. Yeah. Good, good. Okay, friends. Let's stretch out the legs a little bit. Take the feet out in front of you and just move some through the ankles and the toes, whatever feels good. Yeah, so next we'll turn over, coming up hands and knees, and we'll be there for a bit. If you need padding for the knees, you can set that up. And we'll have the hands right underneath the shoulders. For the moment, just start to move any way that feels interesting. You could make some circles. You could do some cat-cow, side bend. You could go in diagonal lines. You could go back to child's pose. Anything goes here. And then let's let the movement start to settle. Go back to child's pose just for a moment. And as you head back there, we'll perch up onto the tips of your fingers. Yeah. Without moving your fingers, try to scrunch up the mat with your hands so the center of the wrists lift when we do that. And then we'll set the hands back down, return to your all fours position. This next one is a twist for the upper thoracic spine, which is a part of the body that doesn't normally twist very much. So, and that, I mean, that's a good thing. There are ribs there, you know, we don't want to twist that much, but it feels good to go a little bit. Let's breathe in. On the exhale, bend the right elbow and turn the head left, but keep the left arm straight. On the inhale, we're in center. Exhale, the left elbow bends, turn the head right. Yeah, and center. So keep doing that a couple more rounds. And if you're anything like me, the bending elbow doesn't get even close to the floor. Some people will get to the floor. It just depends how long your arms are. Yeah. Great. And then when enough is enough, we'll come back to center. Let's head back to child's pose, and this time flip your hands over. Just give the fingers a little curl in and out. You can add in a little tail wag too if that feels good. Great. Now from here, we'll come into down dog to open up the backs of the knees. Go ahead and just get there, and once you arrive, feel free to add in some movement. Maybe the legs pedal, or the hips can shift a bit from side to side. Some of you enjoy lifting a leg. Yeah. Let's take a little dance in your downward facing dog. And then from here, let's start to separate the feet wider. You can go about as wide as the mat. We'll bend the knees and walk your hands to the back of the mat, and I'm going to face this direction. And slide up so that the forearms are on the thighs. You're in the squat position. Move the pelvis back and the chest forward. First, create some elongation. Let's put the right hand to the hip. Pull the navel towards the left foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest to the right, but the navel stays towards the left foot. Inhale, we back off, chest is facing the floor, and do that a couple more times. So the movement and the effort will happen on the exhales here. And we do this all the time, not with like the other version, going really far. So today, challenge yourself to not go as far, but create more effort here through the side body and the oblique muscles. Next time you're in the turned position, we'll stay. Yeah. Now, if this is interesting and you want to hold this, great. If you want to let it go, let the abdomen relax, let the pelvis turn, chest can open more, you can lift the arm, maybe give the wrist a little circle. Great, and let's come down and we'll do the second side. So left hand on the hip, navel pulls towards the right foot, inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest to the left. Inhale, chest faces the floor. Take that a couple times. Nice, slow exhale as we move. And then we're going to stay in the twist. You choose if you want to hold what you're doing, or if you want to let the abdomen go, let the pelvis turn, take the arm up, whatever you want. Maybe add the wrist circle if you did that on the first side. Yeah. All right, friends, let's release. Root down through the legs. Use the inhale to come all the way up. Go ahead and give both wrists some circles as you come down. We'll stay kind of wide in your stance. Bend the knees and just slither asana. We'll do the hula hoop later. Yeah. All right, yogis. Now from here, let's be at the back of the mat. I think most of you are already there. Root down through the legs. We'll find our mountain pose. Press into the soles of the feet and use the inhale to take the arms up. Exhale, we'll go down into a forward fold. You can bend the knees if you need to. Take a halfway lift. Move your chest forward. Let's come down and do bend the knees. Press into the feet. Inhale all the way up again. We rise. Exhale, down we go, forward fold. Halfway up, let's lengthen it out. This time when we come down, we'll walk the hands forward until you get into plank pose. If you need to do something else, you could do plank on the knees or all fours. For everybody, can you clear the shoulders and then zip up through the low belly? Just in between the pubic bone and the navel, lift that spot. Yes, yogis, we'll just stay for a really long time. Not that long, just a moment. Okay, let's put the knees down first. Come all the way down to the belly. And then keep your hands in place. We'll do a slither from the belly. So the hands are by the lower ribs. Come up just slightly here, and then one shoulder and the other side does a little roll. Your chest will go a bit from side to side. Yeah. Okay, friends, let's pause here. From your position, lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. Try to pull the mat back as you pull the chest forward. And then press into the floor. Let's come up and back, bend the knees. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the floor. We're in downward facing dog again. Yeah. Let's head to the back of the mat once again. So walk the hands to the feet. Root down through the legs. Inhale, up we come, lifting the arms. And on the exhale, bring the arms down. So we're going to do a little balance with the twist, and we'll do both versions of the twist. Let's stay with the right leg as the down leg here. Lift the left knee up and hold on to the leg with the right hand. Just keep left hand to the hip. Pull the navel towards the standing foot. Breathe in. On the exhale, start to turn the chest left, but keep the navel in the standing foot. You're not going to go very far. Yeah, and then undo. Step the foot down, a little forward, and then we'll do the opposite side. So the right leg comes up, hold onto the knee with the left hand, right hand to the hip. Pull the navel towards the standing foot. Breathe in. On the exhale, turn the chest right. Yeah, it's not going to go that far. And then undo, step the right foot forward. This time a little different. Pick up the left leg, still hold on with the right arm, and then just open up to the left side. Great. Undo. Step down, last side here. Right leg comes up, left hand to the leg, and then we open up. Don't worry about what the navel is doing. Yeah. All right. And then come back to center, 2 feet on the floor. Once you're at the top of the mat here, let's take a little hula hoop asana. We get all the wiggly ones in. Yeah, other direction. All right, friends. Next, we'll take a variation of the chair twist. Let's keep our feet hips width distance apart. Go ahead here, bend the knees and bring the hips back. Take the hands to prayer. Now, before we go, let me say what we'll do. I'm going to mirror you. The left elbow will come in between the knees, but we're going to pull the navel towards the left foot. Yeah? Inhale. On the exhale, let's go. Left elbow in between the knees, pull the navel towards the left foot. Inhale to center. Exhale, right elbow in between the knees, pull the navel to the right foot. Let's do one more on each side. It's a little tongue twister for the body, isn't it? Yeah. Great, great, great. And then let's come back to center. Take your forward fold here. And you could wiggle a little bit if it feels good. If dangling doesn't feel great, you could bend the knees a little and rest the forearms on the thighs. Some folks like that version better. Yeah, so take what you need to. And then we'll be at the front of the mat here. Reset the hands so they're on the shins. Come up halfway. We'll pull the chest forward. Down we come, hands to the floor. Let's step back to plank pose. Now, let's do this version here. Put the left knee down on the floor. Turn the right heel to the floor and spin the chest open. You can raise the right arm. I am not mirroring you here. And then down comes the arm, and we'll go the other side. So, right knee down, left leg back, heel to the floor, turn left, open up. Great. Release. Let's come down all the way to the belly from here. This time a little bit different than what we did last time. Let's hop up like so. So you're on the elbows and the forearms, and the hands can come in. You can either interlace or stack the hands. Let yourself sink down for a second. And without going anywhere, try to pull the arms towards your chest, pull the chest towards your arms, and start to lift. Keep the lift, and also add in small lift just below the navel. That'll help support your lower back. And then we'll back off. Do that a couple more times. So pull the arms back, pull the chest forward, just below the navel lifts up. All right, yogis, last one of those. And then we'll come down. Let's rest the forehead down on the hands. Bend both knees, feet to the ceiling, and just do a little swish, little side to side. Alrighty. And then from here, friends, we'll reset the legs, just put them back down. We'll need a downward facing dog. From your down dog, let's head to the front of the mat. You can get there any way you like. Root down through the legs, and on the inhale, come all the way up, arms to the sky. Release the arms down, and just do a little shoulder in and out for a second. Yeah. Okay, so next we'll do some lunge variations. If you like blocks for your hands, you can set them up at the front of the mat. I am a block lover myself. So here we are. Rooting down through the feet. Inhale up your arms. Exhale, down we go, forward fold. Also Uttanasana, come up halfway. Lower yourself down, we'll reach the right leg back first, just setting up for lunge. And let's keep the back knee off the floor if you can. Think about the right ball and socket joint, or where the head of the femur bone meets the pelvis. Press the top of the thigh up towards the ceiling, but at the same time, let the pelvis sink down towards the floor, so they kind of press into each other. Yeah, let's elongate through the spine. Great. From here, left hand comes to the hip. Pull the navel to the back foot. Inhale. On the exhale, the chest starts to turn left, but the navel stays back in the right foot. Inhale to undo. 2 more times just like that. Twisting from the guts. Yeah, on this last one, let's hold for a second. Just breathe when you need to breathe. You can, if you're finding this interesting, stick with this. If you want to let it go, you might have to drop the right arm. You can let the pelvis turn, let the left arm lift. You could even kind of pivot a little bit on the left foot so you're in a very open position. Yeah, okay. And then for everybody, let's release, 2 hands down. Go back to downward facing dog. And then a few possibilities here. You could stay in down dog. You could go dog, plank, dog, back and forth. If you're familiar with vinyasa and you want to add that in, go ahead and do that now. Yeah, any version. And then we're all going to meet back in down dog. There's never any rush. Once you arrive, we'll head to the front of the mat, feet forward, but we'll stay low once you get there. Yeah, take just a halfway lift. On the way down, we'll go straight into side 2. Left leg steps back. If you can keep the knee off the floor, do. Think about the left ball and socket joint. Press the ball up towards the ceiling, but let the pelvis go down towards the floor. Yeah, it's like a puzzle piece. They fit into each other. Draw the pelvis back, draw the chest forward here. Right hand to the right hip. Navel to the back foot. Inhale. Exhale, we'll turn chest to the right, navel stays in the back foot. Inhale to undo. Do that a couple of times. We're going to hold the last one. Just breathe whenever you need to breathe. You can stay just like this, or if you want to come into the other version of twist, let the pelvis move, relax a little through the belly, and let the arm come up. You could exaggerate it if you wish. Take whatever feels good here. And then to get out, let's put the hand back down. Go into your downward facing dog, and we're going to stay in dog here and add a little calf stretch. So let's step the right foot forward like an inch or two and try to straighten out the right leg and sink the heel towards the floor. Left knee can bend if that works for you. Yeah, try to have all the weight or most of the weight on the right side. And then we'll switcheroo. So the left foot can come a little forward. Sink the heel down, go straighter on the leg, right knee can bend. Yeah, and then let's reset. Come forward, plank to the belly. Nice transition, Jill. From there, we'll scooch the legs back and down, and we'll do a quad stretch. So let's bend the right knee. If you can find the foot with your hand, great. If not, just keep the foot there, or you could use a prop. And then we'll send the knee towards the back of the mat, send the navel towards the front of the mat. Yeah. I always like to do a quad stretch before we do warrior one, so we'll get there next. And then we'll release, changing this side too. Once you're there, send the knee to the back of the mat, send the navel to the front of the mat. I'm always amazed. My left side is so much tighter than the right for this one. Yes, friends, let's let it go. Back to downward facing dog. And then we'll come to the front of the mat. Root down through the legs. Inhale, all the way up we come. Exhale, just release the arms. Yeah. Let's stay at the top of the mat and take a little hula hoop circle again. And go the other direction. So when we do these twists in this way, it can be a little bit tedious, especially for the brain, but I find it's really stabilizing through the pelvis and the lower back, which is why I do them that way. So for the next sequence, I'll recommend blocks. If you have them, set them up. Let's start at the front of the mat, hands to the hips, and reach the right leg back with the heel down to the floor. You decide how far apart you want to step the feet. So here we are in Warrior One prep. Let's give the back heel a little pressure down into the floor. Go ahead, take the mummy arm cross that we did earlier in class, and think of pulling your navel towards the back foot. That will turn the chest and the pelvis a little more to the right. Keep your navel in the back foot. Inhale. On the exhale, just turn the chest forward. Yeah. Let's do that again, and we'll add on. So inhale, back off. On the exhale, go again, navel in the back foot, chest forward, and also bend the front knee. Good. And undo. Let's do 2 more times of that. So come, bend, and turn on the exhale. Navel stays in the back foot. Great. And then let's stay this next one. Hold the position. Don't hold your breath. Go ahead and release the arms. Stretch the arms up. Keeping the navel in the back foot. The chest turns forward. If it feels all right to gaze slightly up. So glorious. All right, friends. Now from here, let's come forward and down. Go ahead and let the front leg go towards straight. Hands could be any height of blocks. And then just to stretch out the hamstring a little bit, take a couple times to bend and straighten the front leg. Nothing for the moment. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Jill asked a question about where the navel's going, and for the moment, just it's nothing, it's relaxed. Yeah. All right, let's pause with the front leg, your version of straight. Left hand to the hip. Similar to the lunge we did. Pull the navel towards the back foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest left. Inhale to back off, chest faces the floor. Do that a couple more times. So the turn happens on the exhale, the navel stays in the back foot. Yeah. Now on this last one, we'll stay. If you, just in general, have any stuff going on in the pelvis or the low back, I would stick with this one. If you want to go more into a classic revolved triangle, let the navel relax, let the pelvis turn, and let yourself turn further open. You can lift the left arm if you wish. Yeah. Now we're going to take another shape. Let's put the arm down. If you need to bend and straighten a couple of times just as a reset, you can. Now we'll come into a variation of triangle from this starting position. So let's put now the right hand to the hip. And when we do these, now we're pulling the navel towards the front foot, to the left foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest open, but keep the navel towards the front foot. Inhale to undo. Yeah, do that a couple of times, couple more times. So it's a little bit more of a twist than you would normally do in triangle pose. Yeah. And then we're just going to hold in the open position. Let's just keep the hand to the hip for this one. Yeah. Good, good. All right, coming out of that, release the arm. Let's bend the front knee, pivot the back heel up, and we'll go to plank pose. Now from your plank pose, separate your feet a little wider than you normally go. Earlier we did this with one knee down. If you need to do that, you will. If you're good with straight legs, glue the hands to the floor, drop the heels to the left. So it's plank with the twist. Yeah, great. It's like side plank in the legs, but normal plank in the arms. And then let's come up and switch the feet to the other side. Yay, this side's harder for me. And then come back to center. Let's reset, put the knees down and go back to child's pose. And then we'll rest the forehead some way, somehow. So it might touch the floor. You might stack your arms. You might put the elbows on the floor and put the hands up and rest your forehead that way. Yeah. Let your brain relax too. It's a lot of thinking when we are moving in these ways. Okay, you guys. I think we had better do the second side. Let's go to downward dog. From your dog, we'll come to the front of the mat, feet to the hands, root down through the legs. Inhale, we're all the way up. Exhale the arms. Good. All right, so setting up for side two. If your blocks went somewhere, you can reset. Hands onto the hips, the left leg steps back, heel down, but you decide how far back you're stepping. Just make sure that you're stable enough. Yeah. Now from your position, let's press the back heel down into the floor. Crisscross the forearms, mummy style. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Inhale. On the exhale, first just the chest. Keep the navel in the back foot. Turn the chest forward. Good. Inhale to back off. Exhale, we'll go again. We'll add the knee bend. Yeah. And then back off. Let's do 2 more times. Navel in the back foot, chest turns forward. And then we'll stay with the last one. Breathe as you need to. We'll send the arms up and go up, up, up with the arms. Really lengthen. Maybe look up if that feels all right. When you're ready, we'll come forward and down, landing your hands any height of blocks or on the floor. And then from here, take a couple rounds just to bend and straighten the front leg, just to stretch the hamstring. Yeah. And then we'll pause with the leg in your version of straight, which for me is never completely, but here we are. Right hand on the right hip, navel in the back foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest right. Keep the navel in the left foot. Inhale to back off. Do that a couple more times. Have the effort and the turn happen on the exhale for these. Yeah. And then on the next one, we'll stay. You decide if you want to stick with this version, or if you're going for the other one here, let the pelvis turn, let the belly relax a little bit as the arm stretches up. Yeah. Good. Okay, down we come. We're going to do the other one. If you need a little transition, if you need to bend and straighten again, you can to clear out your palate. All right. And then here we go. Left hand to the left hip. Now the navel stays in the front foot. Inhale. Exhale, we'll turn the chest left. Triangle variation. Undo, coming back to center. Take that one a couple more times. And for this version of the pose, we're just going to keep the hand to the hip the whole time. Now, next time you're there, we'll just stay for an extra second. Yeah. Good, good. All right, friends, let's undo. Bend the front knee, pivot the back heel up. Move your blocks if you're on blocks. Let's go back to down dog. Take a slightly wider position in your feet. Bend the knees a little. Press the mat forward with your hands. Send the hips back. And at the tops of the thighs, press apart. In your ankles, hug in a little more towards the midline. Yeah. Great. Keeping all of that, you can go straighter in the legs, or you can keep them bent if you prefer. Good, good. Let's go ahead and bend them again. Walk the hands to your feet, going to the back. Root down to rise up. Inhale, we stand. Exhale, release the arms. Just shake them out a little bit. Yeah. So we'll do a few poses in a symmetrical position, and then we'll do a couple more of these twist things. So this will be a balance, but 2 feet will be on the floor. Let's stand, your choice. Either feet can touch or you can have a little space. Bend the knees just slightly, not a lot, and lift the toes up, spread out wide through your toes. That's it. And then put the toes down. Bend the knees deeper, send the hips back so it's more like chair pose. Lift the toes up again. Yeah, you can take hands to prayer. And then you'll set the toes down, shift forward, and now lift the heels so you're on the balls of your feet. Hug in through the ankles. Slowly, let's stretch the legs to straight, keeping the heels elevated. Raise the arms overhead if you're able to do that. Okay, yogis. Breathe. Holding your breath won't help you out here. And then just calmly, we'll set the heels down, take the arms down, bend the knees, and come back to your prayer and your chair. Yeah, let's go again. Lift the toes, spread them wide. Set the toes down, shift a little forward, heels come up, ankles hug in. Slowly rise up, lengthening the legs, taking the arms up overhead. Okay. Breathe. Great. And that's that. Release. Yeah, you can wiggle a little if you need to. All right. So next we'll take warrior two and side angle, which we don't normally think of as twisting poses, but we'll do kind of the same concept that we've did in some of the other ones. So let's join me here standing up in the middle of the mat long ways. We'll separate your feet nice and wide. And then I'm going to mirror you guys on the screen. Let's turn the left leg in, turn the right leg out. Hands just on the hips, and bend the right knee for a second for a warrior two leg position, just a little tester. Yeah, okay. And then straighten out the leg. Let's take this time hands on the shoulders like bat wings. We've got our mummies, we've got our bats. Today's chicken wing day. Okay, it's got to be chicken wings then. Jill just told me it's National Chicken Wing Day. All right. So from your position here, we're going to keep the legs straight on the first round. Navel is going towards the front foot, which is your right foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest towards the long end of the mat. Inhale to back off. On the exhale, let's go again and also bend the right knee. Chest towards the long end of the mat, navel in the front foot. Inhale to back off. Let's go a couple more of those. Yep. Yes. All right, friends, we'll hold the next one. Don't hold your breath. Let's take the arms just out, classic style. You can turn to look over the right hand, or you could look straight ahead, whatever feels best. Navel stays in the front foot, but the chest is towards the long end of the mat. Let's come a little, put the hands back on the hips. Back off a little bit on the front leg and take a few little yoga disco tilts. Yeah. And then from here, if you're feeling a little jammed up in the hip, when you go down, you might lift the heel. And for some folks, that feels better. And then you'll put the heel down when you come up again. You can try that with or without the heel lift. Yeah. All right, let's stay in the down position. Set the heel down, take the right forearm to the side. Left hand stays on the hip. Let the chest turn a little towards the floor and the navel towards the right foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn the chest open. Inhale to back off. A couple more times just like that. Yeah. Great. Next time we're in the open position, we'll stay. Let's keep a little bit of this effort going on here. If you wish, left arm, you could come do a little slice overhead. If you want, you could take the arm straight up to the ceiling. Wherever you are is fine, but let's still keep this energy going of the navel towards the front foot as the chest turns open, so there's that little twist going on. Yeah, in your feet, can you put more weight in the heels, less weight in the toes? And we'll come up on an inhale, just back to center. Yeah, all right. Other side, just change the legs. And then let's take our chicken wing arm position. Yeah, from here, the first round, we'll keep the legs straight. Draw the navel towards the new front leg, the left leg. Inhale. On the exhale, chest to the long end of the mat. Yeah. Inhale, we'll back off. Let's go again. Chest to the long end of the mat, bend the front knee. Good. Couple of those. Remember, for these, it's navel in the front foot. For the other ones, it was in the back, but here we're in the front. Yes, you guys. All right, let's pause in the down position. Go ahead and take the arms out, classic style. Warrior two, you can look over the left hand if that works for you. And then let's put the hands to the hips, back off a little bit on the front leg, and take the tilt up and down. And if it feels easier for you to tilt with a little lift in the heel, you can try that. Yeah. Good, yogis. All right, let's pause. Next time you're in the tilted position, go ahead and have the heel down. Take the forearm on the thigh, and keep the right hand to the hip, but turn the chest a little more towards the floor. Navel in the front foot. Inhale. On the exhale, turn open away from the floor. Yeah, just keep the hand there. Inhale to turn back down again. Do that a couple more times. Navel stays in the front foot. Yeah. All right. And then on this last one, we'll stay. Keep the navel in the front foot, but if you want to do something with the right arm, options here up by the side of your head, up towards the ceiling. There's a couple different ways you could do it. Yeah. Great. In your feet, put more weight in the heels, less weight in the toes. On the next inhale, we'll come back to center. Yay. All right. Parallel your feet. Let's come together for a second, then we'll take them wide again. Yeah. Take a little hula hoop. Other direction. Yeah. And then let's do this one. Take the feet just slightly wider than you normally would stand. A little bit pigeon-toed, so the internal rotation. Bend your knees, bring the hips back, and rest the arms on the legs. Yeah, at the very top of the thigh, right at the hip crease, press apart away from the midline. In your feet, hug into the ankle so that the weight's more to the inner foot than the outer foot here. Yeah. All right, reset. So your toes point straight ahead. Press down to lift up. Inhale the arms. Exhale, release the arms. All right, so last standing pose. It'll be a wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead and separate your feet out again, maybe slightly less wide than you had for the warriors. And look down, make sure one foot's not ahead of the other and that the toes are facing forward. Yeah, so let's hinge from the hip crease. You can bend the knees a little on the way down and land your hands right under the shoulders. If you need blocks, you can have them. Just like we did in the previous one, widen through the upper thighs, hug in a little through the ankles, and then slowly go straighter in your legs. Now I'm gonna leave it up to you. We'll stay for a bit. You can just stay where you are, hands under the shoulders. You could walk the arms forward. You could walk the arms back. You could flip the hands. There's a plethora of options here. Yeah. So we'll just stay wherever you are for a moment. And then from here, if your arms went somewhere, let's reset so the hands are right underneath the shoulders. And then walk the hands slightly forward and slightly towards the right, not too far. Stay there, bend the left knee, and let the pelvis shift back a little bit. Get a little stretch from the inner thigh. Yeah, let's undo. Walk the hands a little bit to the left, a little forward, and then bend the right knee, let the pelvis shift back. Oh, this side's so tight. All right, guys, and then let's come back to center. Reset your hands. Heel to the feet in a little bit, but still be fairly wide here. Press out through the upper thighs, tone up through the abdomen. Hands come to the hips, and we'll hinge our way up to center. Yes, and let's reset. Feet right underneath you. Yeah, just move around a little bit. Looking good on the screen, looking good in the room. Yes, friends. Okay, let's come down. We'll have a seat with the legs forward. Dandasana. Yeah. Little flesh remove. Pull the flesh of your buttocks back. That'll just give you a little firmer base. Now, that being said, if sitting in this position, you're here and it's a lot of effort or maybe impossible to sit up, go get something to sit on to raise the hips up. That'll be helpful for you. If you don't need it, you don't need it. So here we are with the hands back, just behind you. Press outward through the feet, especially the inner heels. Yeah. Press down through the hands and see if you can grow long and tall through the torso. Yeah. Now for some of us, when we lift the arms, we drop. If that's you, keep the arms down. If you're good to lift the arms up, do. And then pretend there's something up there on the top shelf that, oh yeah, you've really got to reach for it. And that'll help with the lift. Great. Breathe. This pose, it looks pretty easy just looking at somebody, but it's a lot of work. I think in some ways it's a harder one than plank pose. Yeah. All right, friends. Let the arms come down. Go ahead and relax. Relax the feet. You can jiggle the legs out for a second. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of work for the abdominal region. And I'll do stages. Feel free to stop at a stage and repeat that. Feel free to move on. If it's not working out, just skip it and wait a minute. We won't do it for too long. All right, friends. Let's take the arms forward. Now for this one, we will round the back. So let the back round, let the navel draw back towards the spine. We'll go about maybe halfway down to the floor and hold the position. Yeah, great. And then if you would like to add on, take the right arm wide, but don't twist. Keep the chest forward. Yeah, and then come back to center. Do the other side. Left arm wide, but don't twist. And then come back to center. If you're still with me, take the right arm up. That one's hard. And then back to center. And then just the left arm up. And back to center. And then someone's pulling your fingers forward. Come forward, sit, relax. No big deal. Okay. Next, we'll take a slightly different version, similar idea. Bend the knees so the feet are on the floor and have them fairly long position here. Heels on the floor, toes up. Press the heels down and try to pull the heels towards your buttocks. Yeah, so that'll wake up the backs of the legs, and it'll also prevent you from rounding. It'll help tone through the back. Let's stay there, take the arms forward. Now, if you're able to hinge back a little bit, do. If that's not working, just stay where you are. The whole time the heels are pulling back towards your buttocks. If you're able to, bend the elbows and start to draw the hands back, and likely you won't go very far with this one. Yeah. Now pin the elbows in close to the ribs, and just do a little rotation, one side, other side, back and forth. If the rotation is a no-go, but the other feels fine, stick with that. Yeah. Great. And then relax. Release the arms, stretch the legs, give them a little babasana. Yes, yogis. All right, let's come down onto your back. Bend the knees, feet on the floor. And then just take whatever you want for a second. I'm going to be more specific in a moment. Alrighty. From here, with the knees bent, the feet on the floor, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, but keep the left foot on the floor. And start to let the legs drop over to the left. You go to the outer edge of the left foot. Some of you will just plop down there pretty easily. Some of you will be more hovering, and that's fine. Wherever you are is okay. We'll just pause here. Now, some of you might be getting a nice stretch either in the right side body or the right hip. If that's feeling good and you want more of that, slide the left knee more towards your head, and that'll change the angle a little bit. That's, do it or don't do it. It might feel good, it might not. Lush, I know, we're in a pretzel, aren't we? Yeah. And then sometimes too, I get mixed up, so if we do something that's like, that's not right, I probably said the wrong right or left. Yeah. And then let's stay where you are. Unhook the right foot. Just come back to center. Bring your hips back to the floor. And take a second. Let's do this. Hands on the thighs, on the hip crease, and just press hands into the legs. Yeah, and we'll back off from that, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and then we'll start to drop both legs over to your right, going to the outer edge of the right foot. You know, it doesn't matter how far you go for this one. If you want more stretch and it feels okay, you can scooch the right knee more towards your head. Yeah, with the left foot on top, so it'll pull the left leg up too. For this one, let the abdomen relax. And then let's unhook the foot. Bring yourself back to center here. And then once again, take the hands and press the hands into the thighs. Great. Now, a couple possibilities, and I'll leave it up to you. We have some time to do it, though. Some of you might be wanting more hip extension. If that's the case, you might do a few bridges. You could do some windshield wipers. Some of you might want more flexion, and if that's you, you could bring the knees to the chest. Maybe do some little circles there. You could do a happy baby with the legs out wide. So maybe both feel like a good idea. So just take a moment for yourself, whatever your body needs. Yogi's Choice. It's so funny. Some folks love Yogi's Choice, and some folks panic. Oh no, I don't know what to do. If you don't, if you don't know what to do, you could do what I'm doing. Knees are in. I'm just rocking a little side to side. That feels mighty good for me. My husband takes my class twice a year, but you know, still it's twice a year. And sometimes I'll give the choice, you could do nothing, you could do this, you could do that. And then he always does nothing. And one of my students was right behind him in class, and she gave me a full report. And she said, he did nothing. And I mentioned that to him, and he said, well, you said you could do nothing. Yeah. All right, guys, so we're heading to Shavasana. If you're still working on something, though, feel free to do it. I'm going to turn out some of these lights here. Yeah. Now, I always say this, but I really do mean it. If traditional Shavasana, laying flat, doesn't feel like the right pose for you, be any other way instead. Laying on your side, sitting, maybe the knees stay bent the whole time. However you land, bring your awareness to the belly and all around that whole area where we were twisting, and see if you can relax. You might feel movement happening when you breathe. Can you also relax through your chest, and your throat, and your face? All the muscles around your eyes, and all the muscles around your mouth, your tongue, your jaw. Even relax your teeth, your gums. Every time you breathe, let it be a full body experience. Every cell in your whole body taking a breath. Bring your attention back to your physical body. It might feel good to move the fingers, the toes, your limbs. Just whenever you're ready here, let the knees bend. Roll your body to one side. And from your side, press into the floor to come upright to sit. Meet with hands at heart center. And take this time to thank your body for everything that it's able to do. And thank yourself for being here. Namaste.